Welcome everyone to the Team Bla Legends League, race number 6 of 10. Going into this race here at Kansas Speedway for the Bass Pro Shops 81, Kyle Busch and Tony Stewart are tied on points for the points lead, and they're both on 88 points. Bobby Labonte sits in third, 83 points. Kenseth just behind him with 82. And then the rest follow Kevin Hart, Christopher Bell, Jeff Gordon, Richard Petty, Clinton Boyer, Terry Labonte round out the top 10. Just outside, Dale Earnhardt, Carl Edwards, Tyler Reddick, Mark Martin, Brad Keselowski round out the top 15. And from there, these guys all need to improve their points situation, especially Jamie McMurray, who, although is in the number one car, is has number one fewest points earned. So that's not a very good start to the season for him. A lot of improvement is needed. He is 86 points behind Kyle Busch. However, it is still mathematically possible for him to win the title. With 4 races left to go, 40 points possible for each race. He could steal it, but it's highly unlikely at this point due to how big that gap is. So, how much chaos is going to unfold today here at Kansas? Let's find out. Single race. 95 aggression because they crash a lot, actually. Let's bring it up to 100 because why not? We like chaos. And let's see,
Drivers,
where did
to your
everyone
cars.
qualify? Kurt Busch is going to start on the pole. Jimmy Johnson, he's one of the guys who's a bit low in points, so let's see how that affects him. All right. Where is the camera? Okay, here we go. That's not it. Okay, here we go. All right, starting on pole today, we have Kurt Busch in the number 97 Sharpie for Taurus. He starts next to Jimmy Johnson in the Lowe's for Pros Chevy Monte Carlo. Behind them in row number 2, Mark Martin, the Valvoline Ford Taurus. He starts next to none other than Casey Kane in the number 9 Dodge Dealers Dodge Intrepid. And behind them, row number 3, it's Christopher Bell, the Ream Machine. He starts next to Kyle Busch, one of the points leaders going into this race here in Kansas. Behind them is Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator, and he starts next to fellow 7-time champion Richard Petty, the King. Behind them, it's Kyle Larson starting next to none other than Kevin Harvick, the closer. Can he close in on the points lead? And now behind them, the guy who is last in points. Both of these guys very low in points. It's Jamie McMurray in the number 1 Cessna Textron Aviation Chevy Monte Carlo. He starts next to Denny Hamlin in the number 11 FedEx Express Progressive Insurance Pontiac Grand Prix. Behind them, Chase Elliott in the Napa Chevy. He starts next to Terry Labonte in the number 5 Kellogg's Cornflakes Chevy Monte Carlo. Behind them, Bill Elliott, the 94 McDonald's Ford Taurus. He starts next to Ryan Blaney in the number 21 Ford Motorcraft Ford Taurus. And behind them, it's Tyler Reddick in the number 45 Air Jordan's Pontiac Grand Prix. He starts next to Jeff Gordon in the AARP Drive to End Hunger Exalta Chevrolet. Behind them, it's Carl Edwards, the Aflac Health Insurance car, starting next to Clint Boyer, the Honey Nut Cheerios Chevy Monte Carlo. Behind them, Ryan Newman, who once in his career in real life in NASCAR did have a car land on top of him here at Kansas. I believe it was the 24 of William Byron in 2018 when Byron crashed into the wall and landed on top of Newman's car. Do we see a repeat of that today, as chaos might ensue? And Bobby Labonte in the 18 Interstate Batteries Pontiac Grand Prix. What have I done? I made a little boo-boo. Whoops. Anyway, next up we have Dale Jr. in the '88 Mountain Dew Chevy Monte Carlo. He starts next to the number 2 of Rusty Wallace in the Mobile 1 Ford Taurus. Behind them, it's Greg Biffle, the Freedom Science Applied to Life number 16 Ford Taurus, starting next to MTJ in the Bass Pro Shops Chevy Monte Carlo. He's looking to make some progress today as he is representing the brand that is also sponsoring this race, even though they don't pay me. Anyway, we have Sterling Marlin back here in the number 40 Kodak Dodge. He starts next to Tony Stewart, the points leader tied with Kyle Busch at the moment. He's starting way back here. He's got a lot of ground to make up. Next up, we have got Matt Kenseth, the DeWalt Tide Ride, starting next to Carson Hocevar and the Auto Group Ziegler, Chili's, Ride Vidente, Chevy Monte Carlo, starting, and behind them, it's Michael Waltrip, who, although he has had some very poor qualifying efforts, he has proven that he can make progress during the race, because so far he is one of the few drivers who is still the only one who has earned points in every single race so far this season. Does he continue that streak? But he's starting very far back. He starts next to Joey Logano in the number 22 Pennzoil Ford Taurus. And behind them, starting in dead last, the winner of the Daytona 80, it's Brad Keselowski, the Castrol Edge Build Submarines Ford Taurus. And now let's get this race started.
Drivers, to your cars.
Alright, here we go. We've got 54 laps here at Kansas Speedway. The green flag is in the air. Kurt Busch leads them to the green. Kevin Harvick immediately with a move to the outside. Busch clears him for the lead. Into turn 1 they go. Immediately we see some very close action in the crash at the back. Huge crash. That's Tyler Reddick and Jeff Gordon here. And we already have a caution. Let's get a closer look at this. So we can see here that okay, we're entering turn 1 here. Reddick on the inside. He goes up the track, a bump from Carl Edwards. Reddick tries to clear him, doesn't have enough room, and in of a wall they both go. Tyler Reddick and Jeff Gordon are the two involved in this wreck. That is extremely unfortunate for these two. Reddick, I believe, was one of the best drivers so far this season. Jeff Gordon, another one of those drivers who's been consistent all year. And that Chevy Monte Carlo is destroyed. Now let's get another look at this. Let's ride on board with Carl Edwards. So roof camera on the 99 Aflac Ford Taurus. So we can see here. So we can see let's ride on board with Jeff Gordon here. He did nothing wrong. He was simply circuit. So here we come into turn one. Reddick gets sideways, but he goes nowhere. And that is some heavy damage to the front and the left side of that car. The Rainbow Warrior has unfortunately been taken down. And it seems like he is still out here on the racetrack. Reddick is also still in this race. So far, no cars are out of this race, but two of them do have some very significant damage here. You can see the back end of that 45 is absolutely torn apart. And Jeff Gordon, minor damage here. But yeah, you can see he's got some damage. Tyler Reddick, though, that is some heavy damage. I'm not sure how much that is going to affect these two, but Jeff Gordon's race might just be screwed over here. That is very unfortunate. These two came into this race very good in points, and now they might come out of here with a very unfortunate point situation. Alright, pace car, are we gonna go green this time by? Please tell me we do. We are going back green this time by. And the leader, for whatever reason, is Greg Biffle. I assume he took the lead when the crash happened. Because essentially the way NR 2003 works is, if a caution comes out, whoever, it doesn't matter if you're in the lead at the time of caution. All that matters is that you're the first person back at the yellow flag. So if you're first place when the caution comes out, but then you drop to second, the game will put you in second. So Greg Biffle, I assume, passed his fellow Ford teammate Kurt Busch for the lead going into turn 3 and out of turn 4, and that's why he's ahead of him. So that's a bit unfortunate for Kurt Busch, but luckily for him, we're going back green, single file, so he doesn't have to worry about being on the outside lane. What he does have to worry about is another fellow Ford teammate. That's Mark Martin right behind him. He's hungry for a win. He's hungry to improve his point situation. As we're going back green, hopefully they don't crash again like they did last time. Green flag back in the air. We're racing again here in Kansas. Immediately we see some moves. Let's go a little further back. That's where a lot of the things are happening here. So far clean, so far clean. And we survived turn 1. Do they survive turn 2? A little bit of contact there between Michael Waltrip and Brad Keselowski further back. And we've survived one lap here in Kansas. Now as we move up the field, single file all the way through. And remember, the inside lane is always where you want to be. That is the golden rule of NR 2003. Never be on the outside lane. The outside is not the way to go here. As we can see, that Carl Edwards has lost Jamie McMurray and is... Oh wait, never mind, he's still there. He's still there. But Chase Elliott's now alongside him. McMurray's going to clear him into turn 3. Now Elliott alongside Carl Edwards. further up the field. Now here's Jimmy Johnson, right behind the king, Richard Petty. Two of these guys are 7-time champions, being held up by the young Christopher Bell here. Now Petty, he's going to bump draft Bell down the front stretch. He's trying to get away from Jimmy here. And so far, single file all the way through the field. And Ryan Blaney went up the track there. I think he made contact. And we got 3 wide here. Elliott, McMurray, Blaney, and then Busch, Newman, and Edwards. And these guys, unfortunately, are now on the outside lane. They got checked up by Blaney. That's going to cost them a little bit. And Murray, he needs some points here. He sits 15th, I think, at the moment. So he wants to get onto the inside lane. But unfortunately for him, Blaney's going to fill in that spot here. McMurray trying to stay ahead. He's trying to stay alongside Busch. Busch is going to clear him. I think McMurray's going to try to settle in. Yes, he does settle in. Now Casey Kane on the outside. Now we go further up the field. Let's see who's in the lead here. It's still Greg Biffle in the 16. So far, he is one of the dominant cars today. The Roush teammates. All of these Fords were once driven by former Roush drivers, and all of them were teammates. Greg Biffle in the 16. Kurt Busch in the 97, and Mark Martin in the 6 as he goes to the inside of his former Roush teammate, Kurt Busch. A little further back, the 2 7-time champions helping each other out. Jimmy Johnson pushing Richard Petty. And Petty, I think, is going to clear Bell here. Here's Denny Hamlin trying to get a piece of it now. And Martin is going to clear Kurt Busch for second. But here comes the other 7-time champion, Jimmy Johnson. He makes a move to the inside of Petty. Now a little further back, we can see here the Intimidator battling the closer, Kevin Harvick. The Intimidator in the number 3 Good Wrench service, Chevy Monte Carlo, alongside the number 4 Hunt Brothers Pizza Ford Taurus of Kevin Harvick. And now the Intimidator gets a push from a fellow Chevrolet. That's Chase Elliott in the 25 here. And now Kyle Busch, although he is the points leader, and Tony Stewart, I don't think is having a very good race. He's 23rd right now. So Busch is currently in a good spot to take the points lead, or at least clear Tony for the points lead. However, this isn't many points that he will earn from this race. As we see Terry Labonte peels off, he's going to the pits. Let's see, who else made a pit stop? Was it just him? It was just him. He's the only one. Also, Jeff Gordon is having a terrible race. Yeah, he's 13 seconds off. He is extremely slow. This might affect the race for the lead, because currently battling for the lead... Oh wait, I think the 16 pitted. Yeah, we got some cars on pit road, I think. Do we have cars on pit road? Where? Yeah, there's the 16 on pit road. So it seems like we're all pitting at once, or at least individually. They're not pitting in groups. So this race seems like it's going to be a battle of strategy as Mark Martin now comes to the pits. Does anyone else come to the pits? We can see Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney, Bill Elliott. A huge group, a pretty big group of cars, actually. Tyler Reddick and Ryan Newman make their ways down. There's Terry Labonte. He already made a pit stop. Now, let's see how this plays out for the 6th. Mark Martin, our leader, or at least one of our leaders of this race, he comes down to pit road. Now we go further up the field. Let's see, who else is pitting? McMurray, Earnhardt, Elliott. There's Bell, there's Jimmy Johnson, and Kurt Busch, all on pit road. So we can see that there's a lot of very mixed strategy here. Let's see how this plays out for everyone. Here's Greg Biffle. I believe he's going to have the lead here. Currently, the 5 and the 16 sit 1 lap down, but the pit cycle is not over yet. And the 16 is going to pass the 6, so I think he's going to have the race lead. There's Tony Stewart, one of our points leaders. He's coming to pit road now. Now, Tony, he has so far gone 2 races in a row with a win. He has gone back-to-back here. His first win came at the Dan Wilkins Broadcasting 100 at Talladega, and last week he won again at the Premium Invention 45 at Watkins Glen. However, today's race here at Kansas has been the opposite of what he's wanted. He has so far had a very rough race. Let's see if he is able to turn that around, as Denny Hamlin's in the pits now. And I believe Greg Biffle is going to be our new leader. No, wait, he's a lap down, I think, right? Wait, is he a lap down? No, apparently he's 9th, according to our leaderboard. But he should have the race lead after the pit cycle. As we go through the field here, we can see these 3 cars all working together. There's Martin Truex Jr., the 78 Bass Pro Shops car. McMurray and Hocevar working together. Oh, I do think Hocevar is getting a bit impatient here. He makes the move to the inside of McMurray now. And does he clear him? No, McMurray wants to fight. He's not happy. He's going to fight on the outside. But I think Hocevar is going to have the advantage here going into turn 3. He clears McMurray. I do have to say, I don't think that was a very wise choice from Carson Hocevar, because now McMurray is unable to catch up to him, so Hocevar has no drafting help here. But anyway, these two sit 18th and 19th right now. So far, not really any issues happening. The 16 has had a very smooth race. The 24 is somehow still on the lead lap despite all the damage. And where's the 45? Wait, where is the 45? Am I blind? No, wait, the 45 is 21st. Wait, how is the 45 21st? He has damage. He is somehow keeping up despite all the damage that he has. Oh, we got a crash, I think. Is the caution out? No, green flag's still out. What just happened? Hold on, did something happen? Who wrecked? Who crashed? No one's on pit road. What? NASCAR, are we gonna throw the caution? No, it's still green. I don't see anyone who could have crashed. No one out here has any extra damage than what they should have. And the leaderboard does not show anyone who's wrecked, so I guess someone got loose and hit the wall, but no caution came out for that. And here's Kyle Busch. He will earn, if things stay the way they are right now, he will earn 1 point and will be at 89 points going into race 7. I forgot where it is, but he will have 1 point lead over Tony Stewart because Stewart, he's all the way back here in 22nd, 2 positions behind Kyle. Kyle will earn 1 point, Tony will earn none. So Tony's got some work to do here, and so does Busch if he wants to extend his points lead. So far, it has been a dominant run from the 16 of Greg Biffle. He has absolutely dominated today. He has a 3-second lead over the 20 of Christopher Bell and the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. What could possibly stop this guy from winning this race? Should we ride on board with him? Let's ride on board with him. So you can see here on the back switch, he's up on the throttle as he enters turn 3, off the throttle, on the brakes a little bit. He's coasting around, slightly on the throttle as he exits back on the throttle. Number 16 of Greg Biffle. You can see here that there is a huge gap. So Greg Biffle, his main hope here is that there is no caution. Oh, he is slow. Did the caution come out? Caution is out. What just happened? Hold on, why did you come out? What happened? Okay, we got smoke up ahead. Oh my goodness. Terry Labonte goes around here. What on earth just happened? Okay, please pause. Thank you. So let's take a look from TV1. Actually, let's go to the helicopter cam. So we can see here, Chase Elliott, he's giving a huge push to the 5 of Terry Labonte as we come out of turn 4. Oh no, whoops. Wrong setting. But yeah, you can see he's giving a push. Elliott to the inside. Labonte tried to block. They made some contact. In the Bill Elliott. And Labonte goes around into the wall, makes contact with Dale Earnhardt. And oh my goodness, how did they not crash? I'm genuinely surprised that the AI did not crash into Terry Labonte, who was sideways in the corner. But yeah, the caution came out for that. Very unfortunate for Terry, who was having a bit. I don't remember how good his race was, but it seemed like it was going decently well. So let's replay that. It's right on board with the 5 now. See what happened from his perspective. You can see here coming out of the turn 4. He's in first. Here's where he looks like turning around. He's sideways as he entered the corner. Into the wall, took a bit of damage, and somehow no one crashed into him. So let's ride on board with the 25, Chase Elliott. So we can see here, he's all over the rear bumper of that Kellogg's Cornflakes Chevy Monte Carlo. Here they come. You can see here, Elliott's next in contact. Now we turn into the Brown Edwards. Earnhardt took a bit of damage here. It's right on board with the free of Dale Sr., Dale Earnhardt, sorry. Elliott checked them in where, yeah, Dale made that contact with the ball. And Ryan Newman, I think, all of the guys at the ball, that's why he was so slow. Yeah, very close call for Dale. I don't think he took a lot of damage there. Maybe some minor damage, but overall, he should still be fine. Let's right on board with Jamie McMurray. He was one of the guys who was right behind all of this. Let's see what he said. Here he comes, in the first stretch, gets behind Elliott. He sees a wreck coming, he gets on the brakes, goes to the inside, and he avoids getting damage. Very close call for Elliott. 18 is one right now. He was got 4 points later. This excluding points. That is going to really affect him because there is pretty much no way for him to get back on the lead because we are going back to the this year. And we're back racing here. And what is going on up front? How did Joey Logano get up here? I think there might be some pit strategy here. And now here they come out of turn 2. Do they stay clean? So far clean. Here's Joey Logano. Earlier this season, he was dead last in points. It took him until Talladega to earn his first point of the season, and he finished 20th that race. So far, it's been quite the turnaround for him. He finished decently well at the Wreckfest that happened last week at Watkins Glen in the Premium Invention 45. And now here he is in the top 10 at Kansas. Let's see if he's able to continue that run. Another driver very low in points. Oops, wrong camera. Another driver really low in points here is Jamie McMurray, who's a bit further back, currently giving a push to Kyle Busch. A push to Kyle Busch. That rhymed. Anyway, he goes to the outside. Probably not a smart move because here comes Chase Elliott. Elliott with a huge run. McMurray trying to push him forward. He stays clear for now. He makes a move to the inside of Hocevar. Hocevar up the track. I think he nudged him a bit there. And now, here comes Bill Elliott to the inside of Joey Logano here. Oh, contact here between Richard Petty and Martin Truex Jr. They nearly wrecked, but they managed to save it here, as they are very tight here in turn 1 and 2. And now, back onto the backstretch here. McMurray being very aggressive. He nudged Bill Elliott there. They checked up a bit there. I don't think anyone was making a pit stop though. I think it was just a bit of a checkup, as we see now. And Logano, he is dropping like a rock here. McMurray is going to get past him. I think Logano's trying to drop back a bit to find an opening. And now here comes McMurray to the inside of Bill Elliott. So far, a very strong run for the one car, but let's see here. Does bad luck strike again for him? At Daytona, he was running well, but then got wrecked. At the next race in Charlotte, he was doing decently well, but had a bad pit stop. Finished outside the top 20. Then in race number 3, at Martinsville, he had a blown gearbox that knocked him out of the race when he could have earned some points. That was the caution that ended that race. And then race number 4, Talladega. He earned his first points of the season, finished 19th, just ahead of Logano. And then race number 5 at Watkins Glen, again was running strong, but then was involved with a wreck with Brad Keselowski under caution, and that took him out of the race. And now here he is, looking for redemption to finally get himself out of last place in points. I think he's slowing up. I think he might be making a pit stop. Nope, he gets back on the gas here. So far, overall, a very chaotic but still calm race. As Greg Biffle here, he's got a huge lead. He's got a 1-second gap over the next car behind him. That's Christopher Bell, and he's getting nudged by Kevin Harvick here. Greg Biffle, I am lost for words. He has just absolutely dominated today. If he doesn't win this race, I genuinely don't know what to say, because he has just been so fast all day long. That 16 car is the car to beat. And I think he might be making a pit stop. Nope. It seems like they are getting a bit slower in the corners here. I think it might be due to the tire wear. But here comes McMurray. He's got a huge run on Denny Hamlin. That run has faded a bit, but here he comes now. Hamlin to the inside of Bowyer. Bowyer's another driver who's been really strong so far this season. Now we go a bit further back here. So far, single file. Here's Hocevar getting passed by Rusty Wallace. Brad Keselowski trying to turn his season around. He's trying to get by the 99 of Carl Edwards. And somehow Tyler Reddick is not in last place, although I think that has gone to... How is he in last? I don't know, maybe he had to make an extra pit stop or something. But yeah, he is so far having a terrible race. He is last place. And there's the rest of them. And I just realized I forgot to add the contingency sponsors on the 15 car. Anyway, as we go further up the field, still single file. Here's McMurray on the outside. Bowyer having a huge run on those two. Now, does McMurray go to the inside of Hamlin? and McMurray ditches him. He goes with Clint Boyer here into turn 3. Now let's see here. We've got about 8 more laps of racing left to go here in Kansas. Martin Truex Jr. and Ryan Blaney got really close together there. You can see Jeff Gordon now in the pits. I believe he has some very big damage, so... But Greg Biffle, as long as nothing happens to him, he will come out with the race win. He's slowing down, and he's coming into the pits. This will be the last pit stop of the race here, as we see multiple cars on pit road. Oh yeah, that's basically the entire field on pit road. A few cars stayed out. They might be trying to go on an alternate strategy on the long run to save fuel and make it to the end of the race. That's Kyle Busch and Clint Boyer and Christopher Bell. Well, I think some cars took some damage on pit road. There's a little bit of debris. But here come the rest. Oh my goodness. I think Kyle Busch was a little late on the brakes there. He might have been speeding. Well, let's see if NASCAR decides to penalize him. Now, here come the rest, back onto the racetrack. Here's Greg Biffle, the former leader of the race. Does he take the race lead back? I think he will. And now, here we go. 5 laps of racing left to go here in Kansas. Greg Biffle has absolutely dominated today here in the Midwest. So far, the pit cycle doesn't seem to be over, though. Christopher Bell, Clint Boyer, and Kyle Busch stayed out a lap longer, so they made their pit stops. They should be out of the pits by now. Coming around. Oh, we got some pushing here between Michael Waltrip and Carl Edwards. That is... where are they? Yeah, very far back, 29th and 30th. So Michael Waltrip, it seems like his run of being one of the few drivers to earn points in every single race of the season, his streak seems to be over here. He is really far back here. And now Truex under fire from Kevin Harvick. Harvick on the outside, the closer trying to close in. But can he secure the deal? We got a big battle for second here. Truex trying to stay ahead. Harvick, though, he's got some runs coming out of the corner. He's going to have another run out of this corner. Truex trying to stay alongside him into turn 3. These two both know very well that they don't have a shot to win this race anymore, so they're going to try and battle it out for second. Harvick, that time by, he was the one in second. Truex trying his best, but it seems like that car just isn't handling the way he wants it to handle. He got a bit loose there. That's going to let Harvick go. Harvick with the run. A little further back, Clint Boyer ahead of Ryan Blaney. Petty, Wallace, Bell, Larson, and Casey Kane make out the top 10. But here comes Jamie McMurray and Denny Hamlin. Hamlin now to the inside of McMurray. McMurray a little higher for turn 1. He checks up the 8 there. Hamlin, I think, got a little bit loose there. He checked up. Tony, he's back in this race now. Tony Stewart might come out with the points lead here. He's ahead of Kyle Busch. And now, as we go further up the track, it's been an absolute field day for this 16 of Greg Biffle. He's led multiple laps, I think majority of the laps in this race. And now, he has taken the white flag. All he has to do is bring it back to the checkered flag. That's all he wants to see right now. For the final time in turns 3 and 4, Greg Biffle. He is going to do it. He wins the Bass Pro Shops 81 at Kansas Speedway, and he is going to claim all 40 points here. Harvick in second, Truex just behind him, Boyer, Petty, Ryan Blaney, Rusty Wallace, Christopher Bell, Larson, and Casey Kane make out the top 10. And it's going to be the 11, finishing 11th, Denny Hamlin. And after a dominant performance from the 16 of Greg Biffle, he comes out on top. So let's save this race. So we can see here we've already got the top 10. Hamlin in 11th, Tony 12th. Unfortunately, his race winning streak has come to an end here. He finishes 12th. Kyle Busch just finished behind him in 13th. So Tony is going to come out, I believe, with the points lead. I believe he'll have the points lead. I could be wrong. Jamie Murray, solid run for him, 14th. Joey Logano with a little bit of a comeback there. He was dropping like a rock earlier, but he comes back to a 15th place finish. Tyler Reddick, despite the damage, he fights, gets a 16th place finish. Bill Elliott behind him, Matt Kenseth in 18th place, Kurt Busch in 19th. Sterling Marlin is going to be the last driver to earn points here, and finishing just outside the points. Very unfortunate for these guys. It's Chase Elliott, Carson Hocevar, Mark Martin, Dale Earnhardt, Brad Keselowski, Dale Jr., Terry Labonte, Carl Edwards, Michael Waltrip, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, who all finish on the lead lap but with no points. And the two drivers who unfortunately finished laps down were Bobby Labonte and Ryan Newman. Neither of them earned points either. So very unfortunate for them. And somehow, I think this is the first race of the season where we have not had a car DNF. So, yeah. Anyway, Greg Biffle is going to come out on top. Oh, wow. Jimmy lost 29 points. Yeah, not a very good race from the 48. So, yeah, just want to thank you all for watching the race, and I hope you guys all have a good day, and see you guys next week for, what race is it? The IB Program 80 at Michigan. So, see you guys next time.